What's up, everybody? Yes, welcome to Tweet Talks. Your girl is hot in the community right now, and I am loving it. Loving it. Shout out to my day one listeners, which that was not too far ago, but the fact that I got day ones is what's up with me. For real. All right, y'all. So today's episode, I know a lot of y'all pay attention to what the hype is. What's the latest event? What's the latest fad? What's the latest situationship as far as celebrities and even local? But I know a lot of y'all have heard about this story, and we gonna chit chat about it. Yes, this situation. First, I'm gonna say to all my single mamas and to all my single dads, this situation right here is something that if you're dating, you are going to run into this. Okay, you're going to run into it one way or another. At some point, you're going to run into it. Okay, and this situation in particular, it was a woman that she was dating this guy. Before she met the guy, she had 4 children of her own. They had a 5th child, which means there was 5 children in the household. They later, for whatever reason, they decided to break up and go their separate ways. Now that female has 5 children as a single mother. I don't think it's in the story they mentioned whether she had another child or not. But I do know that, one of the children, which is the child of that dad that they had recently broken up, he calls her, the child calls the dad, just to be more descriptive. The little boy calls his dad and he says he's hungry. He wants something to eat. Now, us as parents, we already know the deal. You always get that phone call from your child saying they're hungry. Now, when a child says they're hungry, that just means they want something to eat. Okay? That does not mean you can see their ribs and their blood sugar is dropping. Okay, for those that don't have children or don't know what that experience is like, when a child says they're hungry, that does not mean they are famine. There is no food in the land. Okay, that's just how they talk. That's how they describe the situation, and that's how they get you to make a move. Okay, and in this situation, that little boy calls his dad and says he's hungry. Okay, so this situation actually went viral because this guy, the dad, goes and takes his child some McDonald's. Okay, and so social media went absolutely crazy on this situation. They were like, he's a deadbeat, he's petty, he's this, he's a bum, and I had to really think about it. First of all, I'm gonna tell you, if you're dating or interested in someone, you have to think about everything that comes into that situation. Sometimes you're dating somebody and that person may have a child that is disabled, may having some learning issues, maybe self-esteem issues, maybe social issues. You may even date somebody that has a family member that has some of these problems. Well, this is your girl's take on that situation. Okay? Dating is just that. It's 2 people coming together, deciding that they're going to be together and make it work in a relationship. It is not marriage. Yes, I know y'all about to backlash me for this. Send all your emails to Pronto Me and hit me up. It's tweettalks@prontome.com, and go ahead and backlash me about this. But the reality of it is, when you are in a relationship, you are dating, you are not married to that person, which means that you're on that road. You have not committed to that relationship on a forever level. Now, I think that dad that decided he was going to bring his child something to eat, we're gonna give him a round of applause. We're going to give him a round of applause because at least he did it. There's some guys that have been like, you hungry? Where's your mama at? He did it. But I personally think he should have did it another way. Now, I don't think you should have told the child no, but I'm going to give you a little scenario. Okay? When that child called him up and said, you know what, Dad, I'm hungry, I want something to eat. He should have said, well, listen, I know you had something to eat. I know your mama fed you. Anyway, go put your clothes on. I'm coming to pick you up. We're going to ride somewhere real quick. You know what I'm saying? Now, fellas, to the ones that's listening, I know y'all are very bright. If it would have been 5 women and one of the ones you were dating currently or seeing currently at that moment, you would have found something to say to redirect that conversation very easily. Okay? And to take it away from being a group conversation. So I need to feed y'all and take it to I'm going to feed one. Y'all know how to do stuff like that. Okay? But I will tell you that what this dad should have done is pick that child up, took him to go get some McDonald's or whatever else he wanted to do for the rest of that day. Kept them long enough for that child to forget and that memory to relapse and not be so new to the whole McDonald's experience. For where that child would have went home and told their siblings, like, hey, Daddy just took me to get a 20-piece, some French fries, and I came home with a toy. All that's supposed to be old news by the time he gets home. Because the reality of it is when you date somebody, their baggage comes along with it. And okay, yeah, they're not together anymore. They've moved on. But a lot of times, I'm going to tell you, a lot of the guys will tell you when a relationship is over, that don't mean that I'm disowning the kids. Come on, ladies. Y'all done heard it before. That's still my kid in my eyes. That's what y'all do. So the reality of it is you still want to be respectful of that child and that situation. Because as we know, things that happen to children when they're young, it still affects them as an adult. So I don't think that dad was wrong for taking his child something, but I think he should have been a little tasteful about how he did it. And ladies and gentlemen, it's important for you to pay attention to when you're dating somebody. If that relationship is physically over, that doesn't mean that that person is still obligated to your children, because it's not a marriage. They don't take on that concept as a forever thing. Dating to me is a prerequisite to marriage. Okay? That doesn't mean that we are tied in forever. It just means that we may be on that road to then. Okay? So in thinking about this topic, I always wanted to know, like, how do women feel about that? Like, if you're dating, you have 5 or 6 children, or even 2 or 3, and you're not in this relationship anymore, do you still feel like that person should safeguard the other children? I mean, really, do you feel like that person should move on in their relationship and still be cautious about how they deal with your child? Because I'm going to tell you now, this world that we live in today, that might not happen, dog. So, you got to really keep your eyes open and the people you're dealing with. I mean, I do think the dad was petty for what he did, but, you know, when you stop dating somebody, when they with you, they push aside that pettiness. Okay, honey, and when the relationship is over, the petty party comes back. Yes, the petty party comes back, especially based on how that relationship ended. If it didn't end in a mutual way, you know, you just need to be prepared with the reality that this person may decide that they want to go back to their pettiness. And if they do, they're taking your kids with them. They're going to grab them kids. Okay, petty party. Everybody, hey, we having a petty party. And everybody's involved. You know what I'm saying? The pettiness is going to be to the mom, your dad, your sisters, your brothers, your friends. Yes, they getting wrapped up in the petty party too. Okay? So you have to keep that in mind when you're dating, that you are not obligated to the other person anymore. Now, there's some of us that have empathy, and when it comes to the kids, we feel like we're not going to do certain things because of the kids. But again, there's no obligation there. I mean, hell, you know, you got biological moms and dads that have petty parties on a regular and don't feel a thing when it comes to the kids and how they wrong the kids and don't show up and show out for the kids. But you have to keep those things in mind. So I don't think I don't think that guy was wrong for it. I think he felt like, my child is calling me and I'm going to be responsible for my child. I don't care who I was back then. Because he probably was you know, providing for all the children. But then the reality of it is we don't know. That could have been the reason why they broke up. They could have decided, she could have been like, you know what, I'm tired of him treating his one child like he's the only one in here. I'm done with this. So that could have been some reasons why they decided to go their other ways. And at that point, you have to start, as a single parent, when you remove yourself from somebody that's doing the petty stuff to one child and not treating everybody the same, you have to prepare those children for those things. And I mean, I'm not saying you have to sit down and have a one-on-one conversation and say, okay, this is what's getting ready to happen. But when you know that child is going to have a relationship with their dad, then sometimes you have to be a little bit more active in what you do with all the children. Because you know the pettiness is coming. You know? Okay, I'm no longer with petty. Petty's about to blow up and be super petty. It's real. A lot of people don't really want to talk about it like that, but it really is. When you leave somebody, if they had the pettiness on the back burner, that petty is coming to the front burner and it's well lit and ready to go. Okay? And sometimes when you leave the relationship, their idea is the first woman to be petty towards you is going to be through these kids. Through these kids. If not one by one, I'm going to be petty all the way around. So, as far as that viral situation that everybody was going crazy about on social media, that man was not wrong because he was providing for his child, but he was petty. And it should be an eye-opener to all the ladies. If you got children with somebody different, keep in mind how those children feel and what they're going to deal with. All right? All right, my babies, I'm getting ready to peace out. Thank y'all for staying tuned in. And as always, hit me up on tweettalks@prontome.com. And until then, I'll see y'all next week. Hey. Peace out. Tweet, y'all.